Well, so we have to mainstream the discussions, and already we have the guests in the studio. But let me just introduce them. I have Nii Lantey Vanderpuye. He's a member of parliament for the Ododo constituency. And thank you for joining me, Nii.
Thank you.
The world is not for you. You have to, please.
Oh, okay.
And then also Daniel Ochim Abuaje, who I'll be visiting this Christmas, is here. Daniel Ochim Abuaje. Before he leaves to the US or Bantama, I'll visit him. And thanks for joining me.
Kukufu is waiting for him.
Huh?
Kukufu is waiting for him.
Kukufu. Oh, Kukufu is a done deal. It's not a problem. Even one to me has been defeated. It's not a problem. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah. You've abandoned your friends.
Yeah, I haven't.
Politicians are always like, when they are...
Once you're a friend, you're always a friend.
Oh, yeah, I trust you. You're one of the few reliable politicians around.
Thank you.
But let me just do some interventions quickly. Let's have this run up. I don't know whether you're up to speed with the Zipline deal, the drones for medical and blood supplies. The first time the agreement, was it suspended? Or?
It wasn't suspended. I think the debate is done. Let me say good morning to you, cherished viewers.
And then good people of Bantama.
Yes, of course, obviously. I'm here because of them. Okay, so good morning to my people in Bantama. But the debate is done. We just needed at least 50% of members of parliament in the House to be able to pass, to make a decision
to be approved,
on the debate.
Like.
So, of course.
The majority will have its way.
That's not the case. I think what we need to do is to listen to the professionals, the health professionals. What are they saying? You know, this is not, I know people are making arguments that we have basic infrastructure needs, there are healthcare professionals. I mean, some hospitals don't have healthcare professionals, but this is supposed to complement what exists already. It's not supposed to replace anything. So what are they saying? What are the professionals saying? It's a good thing. It's going to support areas that cannot easily be reached with critical and important medicines or even blood.
When we are not acquiring the facilities for deploying the technology,
exactly,
and then the services.
Yes.
But of course, when the services are undertaken, we have to pay Zipline.
And we do pay now. We do pay now. When people have to come to the hospital, for instance, to get blood, what happens? They pay for the fees for processing. They have to travel and get it. And so this is just to basically speed up the process of providing critical medications to people wherever we can find them. You know, and so that is what it is. It is not supposed to replace the whole entire healthcare system that we have. It is to complement what exists already, so that people that are in the hinterlands, in case there are critical medications that are needed, they can put it in, the order, and then it will be delivered. And this technology is going to be transferred to Ghanaians ultimately. You know, they're supposed to put in measures where Ghanaians ultimately will be running and be making all these drones to support our healthcare. And that's, to me, the bottom line. So it is good. It's not something that I think we should speak against. We should support it. And I hope when we get to the House, we'll be able to pass the bill and support it, because it's supposed to complement what we do already in the healthcare system. So, of course, the numbers, our friends in NDC are talking about numbers, throwing the numbers here and there. I think it's in phases. It is good that if you get a contract, you take a look at page 33 or page 39, you can see that if you deliver this number of, medications, you pay X amount, you know, whether it's day or night, depending on which one you're doing.
Do you have the contract yourself?
I've seen it already.
Okay,
that's why I'm able to refer you to page 33 or page 39. You'll be able to see what's the range. Don't lump all of them together, you know, or don't combine all the various distribution centers together. There's supposed to be 4 around the country to do all this job. So I think it's a good thing, and we should listen to what the professionals are saying and then be able to make this happen. For me, it is a complementary service, something that we already pay for, and that's what we are going to do. So I expect that when we go to Parliament, this will get approval that it needs, and to be able to get our blessings for implementation.
That's a top member of the Finance Committee, and his argument really makes moot all the concerns that the minority has raised, you know, or the hue and cry press conference organized, but it's supposed to be complementary.
Well, thank you very much. Let me also take the opportunity of saying a very good morning to my constituents, the people of Gamashi, Ododo, Ashedu, Keteke, and to also everybody watching us, and to my very good friend, one of the few friends I've had in this new parliament.
He's one of the few.
Yeah.
He's a nice man, actually.
Yeah.
He teaches all the time.
It makes it difficult firing him very.
Sometimes we have some fiery exchanges, but you know.
I hope today you have
friendly
one.
fire.
I want to prepare some great feast for you today.
Because Bantama is also my area.
Your second home.
Yeah, I go to Bantama. Every time in Kumasi, that's where I eat from. I have a house there. I eat from there. So. It's a good place.
It's a homeboy, with all due respect.
That's why I was sad when Kukufu left, because when I get there, Kukufu was more akin to, you know, getting me into the places I have to. Doctor is a bit too gentle.
Doctor, just call me.
Well, let me say this. It is not a fact that Ghanaians will not be happy, or the minority will not be happy with any attempt to offer complementary services that will go to augment already the service being provided by the established health facilities in the country.
So you are not against it entirely?
It's a certain that we are interested in providing good health care service to the people of Ghana. That's why, under President Mahama, we decided to invest so much into health, building hospitals, CHIPS compound. Even we, the appointees of President Mahama, even were contributing our salaries to the building of CHIPS compounds around the country. Because our thinking is that what will health insurance be if the person cannot access health? So accessibility to health is very important to us, and we want to appreciate that. However, we want to say that as a government, we think our priorities must always be set right. You see, I sitting here may not be one of the people, but we had health professionals, health administrators, all coming out to talk about this and said this doesn't look like a good priority. But the government is very intransigent on it. We've had a serious debate in Parliament. The debate has been truncated twice. We're hoping that the debate will ensue again and people will continue to understand the point that the minority has made. Our ranking member on health, Yelechre, for example, who has been a Minister of Health, has talked seriously about the issues involved in this. It's not just a matter of the provision of the service. The cost of the service to Ghanaians is important. My brother has said that when a service is if one service is delivered from one center, how much is it costing Ghanaians? The cost of the drones is a problem. We've talked about the fact that if you go around the world and you search everything, the cost of a drone is about 100,000. Why are they giving it to us at $1 million? You understand? We've talked about the fact that the drone itself, the service is supposed to provide, can carry just about 1.7 kilograms of a product. So what would that do? We are looking at the situation whereby, for example, if you send this and that health officer is unable to travel from the center to where you are supposed to deliver this, what use will it be? So we are asking that this thing must be thought through properly. You see, the problem I have is because sometimes the government thinks that people are just criticizing them for the sake of it. But I think people are offering constructive criticisms in order to make Ghana better. Imani wrote a very nice piece on this, good research work on this.
You read it?
Yes, I read it. So many other people have talked about this. People have come up. And you see, the worst part of it is that the Director of Health Service is unable to really convince any Ghanaian.
You mean
apart from members in the majority. Apart from members in the majority. I've listened to so many discussions on this over the past week on various networks, and people are just not convinced that this is a priority of Ghana. Look, let me say, what use will it be if you provide that blood from one center to a rural area and they don't even have a storage facility at that rural area to store that blood? Blood has expiry date if it's not stored properly. So all these things that's what I'm saying, like, what will it take? The amount of money eventually in a year government will be spending on this experiment. Why don't we invest that money in providing the basic needs of these health facilities across the country? There are health facilities who don't even have motorbikes to be able to expend their personnel to the next village. That's why President Mahama thought it wise. He was visionary enough to bring the Ahoto mobile clinic. which was moving to the rural communities, which was moving to inaccessible areas to offer mobile clinical services to people.
I saw some pictures on the net. Some of them are
Yes, and they are abandoned. This project has been abandoned.
Right? The new ones that have been brought up.
Yes, have been abandoned. The whole top mobile clinics have been abandoned.
But they could be activated.
So we're saying that why don't you activate that? Why don't you improve upon that?
But the government of Ghana in the first place is not paying for it. We're not.
Government of Ghana is not paying for
no,
what?
We're not having an initial capital investment into this.
Initial, but the government will pay for it.
Yeah, ultimately we're pulling resources. Ultimately, we're pulling resources from known agencies and contributory corporate institutions to be able to fund the service and the earnings payment over the 4-year period.
Yes, the Minister of Health couldn't explain that in Parliament. Oh no, Agbamenu couldn't explain that in Parliament. That's one of the reasons that called for the abrogation of the debate.
But Saturday,
I'm saying that
Dr. Siasare, who is the Ghana Health Service Director General,
so
got us to know that the
GMPC has more information than the minister.
The GMPC is putting in at least an initial $5 million US.
It's putting in initial. So subsequently, Ghana we're paying for. So whether we like it or not, it's the same drama. It's the same drama which was manifested at the beginning of the talk about the National Cathedral. First they say, oh, it's not going to, government is not going to pay any money. Oh, it's going to be individual people. It's going to be non-governmental. Then later on, the minister came and stood in front of Parliament and said, government is going to commit so much as initial funding.
We have a national cathedral.
As initial funding.
And then we have the delivery of blood and other medical essentials using drones. There are two different agreements, aren't they?
This government sometimes look confused in the way they do things. They are always putting the cart before the horses. It is not done anywhere.
So you're saying that the priority needs to be undertaken first?
Yes. Look, the same thing happened.
Let me ask you this. You have been with the Ministry of Local Government. You have been with the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Yes.
So you've been around. You've even been in a trade. So you know what is on the ground. What do you think, if we have to talk about infrastructure to enable us give essentials, whether blood or other medical supplies to hospitals in the nooks and crannies of a country, some places that are even inaccessible are not accessible during emergency, what do you think needs to be put in place first?
The first thing that needs to be improved is the CHIPS compounds. We need more CHIPS compounds.
We need more of them. An expansion of the already ones. Motorbikes,
small carts, refrigerators, things that can help a basic health facility be able to dispense service to the ordinary Ghanaian without much problem.
Okay. So today, all that is left for the agreement is just the quorum that is needed for it to be passed.
Yes.
Oh, they are going to use their numbers. They can go ahead.
This is a big plan.
You look defeated.
This is a big
but they've said it.
That they will use. With all this respect to my
don't mind Dr. Achim. They've said that they will use their numbers.
He doesn't have a PhD.
No. With all due respect to my senior, I think he has some difficulties understanding what we are talking about. The fact that we are leveraging technology to deal with our issues, problems. He's talking about if you should take a blood to a village, right, and they don't have, what do you call it, storage facility. This is to deal with it.
Yeah. So
when you take blood there,
who's going to dispense?
And I don't know whether he understands how the drones work. They work like planes. So if you have a CHIP compound somewhere in my village, at Chumamboko, right? People are there already. They are healthcare services. They need essential medication. It's been flown there. And then the communication goes on, either via text message or whatever. They come and then it's dropped.
No, you're not saying that
because he is talking about lack of storage. Wow. This is what this is supposed to deal with.
He's talking about the blood is flown there and they don't have a fridge to store
Roland, they don't have to store the blood. That is the concept he does not understand. And he was saying that the director of health service was not able to convince one person.
No.
If I don't know anything at all, at least on that news for your program last week, right? Abu Malik, our own brother, said he was convinced.
Who?
Right?
Who?
What do you call it?
Kwakubako.
Kwakubako. Oh. No. He said he has not convinced one person. I'm just giving you one person. I was so convinced.
But I said the majority.
I watched the program.
I said the majority.
No, it's not the majority.
The majority in Parliament.
Please. So for me, it seems our friends, they have difficulties understanding this. The idea is to leverage technology to get essential medications to areas where it's difficult to get.
That's only language.
So listen to me.
To me, language.
It seems they are still all living in the past, in the old school. Today, to make a difference in this world, take advantage of technology. Companies that do well, countries that do well, must leverage IT. Okay. And that's exactly what we are doing. The next thing I want to put to that, he's talking about the cost of the drones. Oh, We are talking about the cost of the center, the entire center. If you go and look online and say a drone is costing $1,500, you are looking at a small picture. We are looking at a whole center that is supposed to store, distribute, build, operate, and transfer.
There is a
including
cost,
transfer the technology.
There is a cost component to every
so
item.
don't look at it.
Are you saying
there's a cost component to every item.
Is this a build, operate, and transfer agreement? No.
It is a service.
It is not.
No, it's a service.
Because at the end of the 4 years, the drones don't come back. They take the drones.
But
if we want the service, we renew.
Roland, the technology, the idea, the skills transfer to us.
Can do better.
He's talking about priority.
Let's invest in
hold on.
Do this.
It's okay. I mean, if we have to do it locally, it's okay. He's talking about priority. Who sets the priority? Ghanaians have given our mandate to the president.
So you are saying that you are not mindful.
We need opposition to be there.
You are saying that you are not mindful of concerns that have been raised by ordinary Ghanaians.
We are very, very mindful. This is a listening government.
Are you saying that because it's the minority that's raising the concerns, it may not be a section of the population, if not the majority of the section of the population that are raising the concerns, just because it's coming from the NDC minority?
Roland, we would definitely need responsible opposition to be there to guide the debate, to suggest alternatives, to bring and to bear what is it that we have to do as a country. We are not looking for opposition that is going to oppose because they don't have the opportunity to do it. By the way, nobody is also going to say that you are going to sit down, with all due respect, for the minority, with all due respect, to make nonsense of the majority. You can't do that. The president has been given the mandate. I'm not saying
if the minority's decision.
I'm saying
this
is no. Of course, if it is wiser, we will take it. No way. We are all Ghanaians, after all. That is what we are talking about. So they have issues with cost because they are not looking at the numbers properly. According to the director of the
Ghana Health Service,
Dr. Isiasari, it's going to cost on average about $175 per month. Per month, if you operate at full capacity. So what are we talking about? Just because we are doing it? No, please don't oppose because you have to oppose. So for me, it seems our friends have difficulties. This is technology, and that is where we are. Any country that is going to do well, any individual companies that are going to do well, must today, in today's age, leverage the power of technology. And if you don't know how to do it, I'm telling you, you're going to have difficulties. It's not the old school. This is not supposed to replace everything. This is supposed to complement that which exists already.
What is
the
this?
problem? What is this is that he's talking about
we don't have ambulances that can. We don't even have the vans that could the complement of the vans,
issues,
the transportation facilities
we have
and the
bad
structures
roads,
that will complement.
We have bad roads. We have storage issues. We have a situation where we put medications in one place, they expire. Somebody needs it somewhere.
So the money we're going to accumulatively pay these people for the next 4 years. In the sum of some $12 million US. Let's use it to build facilities in the interim.
This is some of the suggestions, the issues.
It's not the build, operate, transfer agreement, is it?
No. This is a service agreement. The problem we are enlisting, the lack of storage, bad roads, accessibility. These are all the things that we are using technology to deal with while we continue to build the infrastructure gap. Yes, you talk about all the things you're talking about. We build this, we build that, and what happened? NDC, Ekosi say. What happened?
Well, it's 2 years into the MPP administration. You don't have to lay every problems in Ghana on the heads of the NDC, is it? That's why you're giving the mandate.
If our friends in NDC had left us good legacies, we will not be talking this.
What were you expecting?
If you go...
You're talking about legacies.
Hold on.
If they had legacies, perhaps you wouldn't have come into power. Then Ghanaians would have been comfortable.
Exactly. So give us the chance to set the priority. We are not in the driving seat for nothing. We're giving the mandate. We are not questioning
airport. Even the Kumasi airport you travel to Accra.
At what cost?
Was it not a legacy to?
At what cost?
Oh, is that what you're asking? At what cost are you saying you giving this drone service? At what cost are you giving this drone service?
175,000 at 175 Ghana
when
per month.
When it can cost $12. $12 provide the same service.
$12. So accumulatively,
yes.
over the next 4 years,
yes,
when the agreement fully takes off,
yes.
How much are we going to expend on this?
Roland.
Already, when we know that GMPC is going to put in 5
million. Expended over $100,000 million.
We have been told that it's about 12 million, whatever it is.
Over the period.
Yeah, over the period.
For a year.
But these are services based on how many is delivered. It's kind of like
for a year.
No, it's 12 billion for the whole year.
I'm telling you,
exactly.
have you considered the cost of the drones and everything?
We are even trying.
But the drones,
Government for drones.
Government is
for
not.
drones.
Government is not paying.
We're
anything.
not paying for them.
So what I would ask our friends in the opposition is to take their time, study this.
So you're going to use your numbers to bamboozle them?
Oh, no, I'm not.
The majority are going to have their way, as
to,
usual.
We are not going to.
And despite the concerns that have been raised, you know, Imani is a respectable think tank in Africa.
Yes.
And they have raised serious concerns.
The Director General of Ghana Health Services.
Have you gone through
questioning?
Have you gone through the analysis?
What they say, but I just heard on the air. They have questioned them that they should support what they are talking about. The numbers, they are coming up with numbers that we don't know the source. And it's okay for them to have a debate or position.
You have not been able to give us any numbers as to this.
We have.
You don't even have any data. Which communities? How many people?
Based on what you submitted this morning, I can completely understand that you have difficulties appreciating or understanding. Either one, because you probably have not been able to go through the document.
What are you talking about?
No.
So you appreciate the document more than Yeleche?
Oh, you expect me to trust the opposition completely? No way.
So if you don't trust me, why,
the numbers.
So if you don't trust me, why should I trust you? Then why should I trust you?
I do respect you.
If we cannot trust ourselves,
don't trust the numbers. Don't trust them because you are part of doing that. So this is a good service.
You have not provided
the government is setting its priorities right. This is not supposed to replace what exists. It's supposed to complement what exists.
Your side of the house. You convened a press conference.
We are not going to be part of this if they don't.
You're going to walk out?
No, what we are saying is that we will not. Like yesterday, the way manner they succeeded in using their numbers on the Sino-Hydro thing. We will not. Ghanaians will be the better judges.
Oh my God.
Sino-Hydro, yesterday we abstained from voting.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sino-Hydro next.
Because it's the same thing they want to do with this. Because the minister has said it. And Yeleche drew the speaker's attention to it that the minister said they will use their numbers.
Mr. Nii Lantey Vanderpuye, I'm asking today, when the agreement is brought back to the plenary today,
yes,
what will the minority be?
We will not be part of it.
Where will it be?
We will not be part of this.
Meaning
because
what?
This is not the right thing for this country. It's not good for Ghana.
How won't you be part of it?
Why should we be part of the wrong thing?
Are you going to walk out?
We are advising the government. They are
what
not
are you going to do?
Within
what's the position of the minority on this?
We are totally against this project because this project is not a priority. This project is not thought through well. This project is not what will give relief to our poor people in the rural areas, in the inaccessible areas, who need essential health services.
Roland,
yes, sir.
This is not the first time our friends in minority have decided like this. In the past, they did it. They did it to National Health Insurance. They walked out.
We did it. National Insurance. We started National Health Insurance.
Okay, so they walked out.
We started National Health Insurance.
I wouldn't be surprised if they should walk out today.
I said we started National Health Insurance.
And then they walked out when we were even looking for oil in commercial quantity. They call it Ajongo.
Is that what we got?
Right. So if they
is that what you're going to when you walk out
when you're speaking,
I won't allow you to.
So they've walked out in the past before, but we think it's the right thing to do. It is important to leverage technology to
MPP has never walked out of parliament before.
To provide. It's okay, it's a choice. But,
yes, so what are you
posterity is going to judge you.
Yes.
When it turns out to be, it's going to be right, we have done the analysis, we believe it's going to help us, and Ghanaians are going to question them. If we decide to walk out, you walked out of Sino-Hydro, right? When we are going to build what is potentially going to be called a Haruna interchange in Tamale. Right? And you walked out. You don't want the infrastructure. Why? Because we are doing it.
Who said we don't want the infrastructure?
No, I mean, opposition is difficult, but the opposition...
Who said we don't want infrastructure?
The way our friends...
If we don't want infrastructure, will we have built the infrastructure you people are enjoying today?
What did you build?
What did you build? Happened? Look,
and they see...
All right, let's
did you fly on the circle highway?
Opposition Wahala should not be like
this. The Sino-Hydro deal.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Sino-Hydro deal. And yesterday, all of you were in Parliament. The Sino-Hydro deal is worth how much?
2 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, the first tranche I think is 646.
Yeah, it's been approved, and I know that initially it's for some assigned roads, etc.
Yes. And selected roads.
And some form of infrastructure altered.
Bridges and other things. In all the 10 regions, I think, if not at least 95% of all the regions.
The opposition have been raising some concerns, but ultimately, government, including the vice president, have had some strong word for going for this deal. Of course, it's not the first time that we've had some relationship with the Chinese government and its agencies. The real advantages are...
Roland, today I heard on your JoyNews that over 2,000 people have been killed due to road accidents. Every year, for the past 5 years, over 2,000. These are lives. What situation do we have? We have situations where we have bad infrastructure. You and I may end up in the hospital and they will tell us there's no bed. You and I may have a situation on the road and we have to be rushed to the hospital and they say there's no ambulance. We may get to the facility and problems, right? We have roads that are so bad that are only good for 1 year. 1 year, because it was built up by our friends in NDC.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you. Go to Aswase. I don't say things without basis.
Don't degenerate.
Go to Aswase, my own senior Honorable Muntake's road. Only good for election. 1 year. Go to Bantama for 8 years, no road was constructed. Not even a kilometer of a gutter, a drain. So Mother Ghana has difficulties. Only few people are taking care of Mother Ghana. 1.5 million out of 30 million people. Okay, right? 1.5, only 1.5 million Ghanaians pay tax. Ghana has gone through a situation where we've been 60 years, we're 61 years old and growing, yet our development is too slow. What do we do?
So Sino Hydro is the savior.
So what you do is that to borrow responsibly, not recklessly, as was done by some of our friends, the administration, I call it dining hall administration, Yekodi administration, let's go and eat administration. Because it was full of incompetence and all those, create, loot and share. Borrow responsibly, invest it in productive sectors of the economy, do good roads that can last 10 years or more. And that is what we intend. When we came and saved Ghana from the crisis and the instabilities all over the place, macroeconomic instability, financial instability, and instability even with the lights. Don't forget, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, prior to 2016, we have issues even with the lights.
Did you solve the lights? Are you the one who solved the lights?
That is a subject of debate.
Are you the one who solved the lights?
You had 4 years. Why are you lying? You couldn't.
Why are you lying?
I won't lie, Honorable.
Roland is sitting here. He knows.
So in the midst
do you know when June was
Roland, if it was a business,
do you know when June was? Let me give you the date.
If Ghana,
let me give you the 11th November 2015.
I will not help you when you are talking.
No. You are being.
I will not help you.
I've been quiet.
You had 4 years.
You've used the words like incompetence.
Not your.
You can note it. My pen and paper. You can use the
No,
back
I'm not
of my
interested.
paper.
It's here.
Right. So Roland, in the midst of all the crises, in the midst of all the problems, if Ghana was a corporate entity and it was given to you, two things may happen. You other one have to say, okay, you know what? This is a situation that was too bad when we took it over. Let's sell it.
Not fair. You don't seem to give credit to the NDC for anything.
Me? You can ask him. I'm the one of the MPs
no, but you're
in Parliament
not doing it now.
Who says that? Let's give a little bit credit of
on television. You are lying.
Please. Let's give a little bit of credit to NDC because there's this proverbial thing I can't say that. Confuboni, reformer confupoa better no. So for that reason, let's give them some 10% for holding the fort. We have come to fix it now. So if you are begging for credit, as they always do in Parliament, let's give them a little bit of it, maybe 10%. But I'm telling you, all the evils we see, all the bad things we see in Ghana, especially in recent times, are caused by our friends. They mismanage the country.
You've been in power for 2 years.
No.
December and January 7 is just around the corner.
We are dealing with the issues. We are not saying all is over. We are dealing with the issues, the mess. So Sino Hydro, coming back to the point, is supposed to. We have used Asempa budget to stabilize the economy. We use Ajuma to create a little bit of jobs and to stabilize and fix financial stability.
How many unemployment rates we have?
Huh? Well, it's big, but at least I can tell you that we've employed over 150,000 people. If you add NAPCO, right? Yes. So we are dealing with, we are sustaining the gains we made with Asempa, with Ajumapa. Now we are at a Puntuo budget, which is going to lay the foundation to bridge the gap, the infrastructure gap that we have as a country, which is going to help provide some help with mortgages and housing and good roads, hospitals, bridges that are potential. One of them in Central Tamale. I'm proposing, of course, I'm suggesting if they will take it, that it should be named after Honorable, Aruna Interchange in Tamale. And you don't want it. Ghanaians will come back to you and say, regardless of the debate, regardless of everything, let's make sure that we develop our country. And please don't walk away. But they did. And I'm telling them, posterity is going to judge them and they will have to answer to it. This is going to work for us. So that is what we do. Borrow responsibly, not recklessly. Develop, don't create loot and share. Develop, make sure there's value for money. And that is what we are pursuing. And that's basically the difference between us and them. And they know it.
You see,
why did you work out yesterday?
Do you know we didn't work out? We abstained for voting.
Okay, so your main difficulty is with the Sino hybrid.
You see,
and that tranche was 600 and how much million?
46 million.
$46.7 million. Roland, you see, it's funny. My brother here sitting here is behaving like the vice president and the president. They're still in the campaign mood. They're still talking as if they are on the political platform talking to some constituents somewhere who are not discerning. That's what they are behaving.
No.
They are talking to Ghanaians, discerning Ghanaians who know this country before you came to power. Who can testify to things that have been done. You talk about road facility.
Let's look at
you talking about road infrastructure. No. Can any government compare with the road infrastructure built by John Mahama's government?
At what cost?
You're asking cost.
At what cost?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I will give you the cost. You don't worry. I will give you the cost. Don't worry. I will give you the cost.
We should give you some credit. We may give you some small credit. Some small credit. That one, I don't.
The legacy projects that were left by President Kufuor were completed by Mills and Mahama.
What are we doing?
So what road infrastructure can you boast of? Take the roads. 87% of the road infrastructure we have today were built under an NDC government. Either it's Jerry John Rawlings, John Evans Atamils, or John Dramani Mahama. 87. You drive to your house in Kumasi. By the time you come out, the next day morning, your road has been asphalted. And then you sit here, you said you didn't see anything.
There's no single road that was asphalted.
My brother. You are MP for
no single road.
But I go to Kumasi more than you go. I go to Kumasi more than you go. You, right now, today, you can drive straight to Kumasi Airport. You can leave Accra in the evening, go to Kumasi, eat your fufu, and take a plane and come back. And you talk about infrastructure.
By planting lights, you charge me $27 million?
I'm saying that, look, I'm happy you have raised this. Look, Sino Hydro. Photos keke is going to cost us 7 million cedis.
What is photo? They are using
photography.
Drone seismic. They are using satellite imagery.
So it has not happened before. We have not taken photos before.
But we don't have satellite imagery equipment around.
Let me tell you, it's going to cost 7 billion cedis. Site office for the engineers is going to cost Ghana 877 million. 877,000 US dollars.
The site office.
Nearly $1 million. $877,000. Maintenance of the site office is going to cost us $155,000. Maintenance.
For what period?
Provision of first aid kit and training of first aiders. $24,000. First aid kit. $24,000. Employers monitoring is going to cost $121,000. Reinstatement and relocation of services is going to cost $471,000.
That's why you abstain.
You are talking about recklessness. What is better defined by this? This is thin, terribly incompetent Nanado government. This is thin, terribly incompetent Nanado government. You're talking about incompetence.
Roland, when you have opposition,
we have been quiet. When you have opposition, when you have opposition, because we have facts. No. We can point to things we have done. Okay. You have come to this country. You have borrowed.
What is the alternative?
You have borrowed more than we ever borrowed.
What are you comparing with?
And what can you have to show? You don't even have hemcoup to show.
What are you comparing?
You don't even have hemcoup to show. All that the president is doing is going around renaming factories and facilities in one district, one factory. Which factory have you been able to build within these 2 years?
What are you comparing?
All the factories.
But the initiative they are not supposed to. It's a private sector led.
Today we are talking about Suba. Do you know where Suba was commissioned? Suba is just 5 minutes drive from my house.
Okay.
Do you know where it was commissioned?
You mean
You're talking about Everpure. Sunda.
The diaper factory.
Yes. You talk about Everpure.
Have they been? Have they been in town for a long time?
They are now one district, one factory. Very soon, Joy FM will become.
But they used to be in town a long time ago.
Yes.
You don't even understand.
As far back as 2014.
Roland.
As far back as 2014.
Roland, I think it's opposition.
As far back as 2008.
But you know, there's an added component of the one district, one factory.
What added component?
That co-opts existing factories or firms.
Expand them.
Is that what Nanado told us?
What did he tell us?
Is that what Nanado told us?
What do you think he told us?
Is that what he told us in 2016?
What do you think he told us?
Oh God.
Okay, so Roland,
you want me to go by and refer to you?
Yeah,
I can go get it by and refer to you.
No, you relax. Okay. So
Roland,
I'm asking.
I think what my senior is doing is opposition wahala.
I'm being realistic. I'm saying things that are factual.
You don't know. These are all the numbers.
But you can't just throw away the baby with the and say that the whole deal is.
The whole deal is bad.
We have
I'm
roads.
giving you facts.
Yeah, sure. We have roads. Let me just remind you. We have the first phase project, which is under engineering, procurement, and construction contract agreement so far. We have the Accra City Inner Roads, which was started by you. They will continue. They will be continued. And then the Kumasi,
they'll be finished.
The Kumasi Inner City Road, which was started under John, will be continued.
Yes.
Tamale Interchange Project will be continued.
Yes.
He's advocating should be named
Haruna conceptualized as far back as John Evans Atamil's time.
PTC Runabout, Panian Tobacco,
Takrady. Go and see what is there right now. Whether it's not asphalted.
And Adenta Dodowa Dual Carriageway.
It was started under President Kufuor.
Oh, everything was
no,
now,
I'm saying
the rest are the Sunyani Inner City Road. You know the Sunyani City Road. Were you doing something in Sunyani?
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
all the city roads.
Almost 86 kilometers of Sunyani City roads have been done.
And then we have Cape Coast Inner City Road, because already they've done some. I've seen some of them. If you go to the Infante Promoter, now they'll do the main one to Paydu and all that. So we have Hokwe Jasikando, the Papasi roads, Odan, Ofuase, Ebrim roads. All of them will be done under the Sino Hydro.
So what I'm saying is that this is not strange. These are
it's a continuation.
Yes, that your mama has started.
And why not? Even
we are saying that the cost is outrageous.
Even our constitution.
The cost is outrageous.
Even our
times
constitution.
Have moved on.
Right?
Then he talking about reckless borrowing.
Even our constitution, tells us to continue. When you come and you meet a project,
you don't use the word reckless. Don't use the word incompetent.
Oh, no.
Because if we say something, so you are continuing our incompetence.
Okay, let's just make it.
No, we will do it better.
We'll
do it better. He's talking about this cost. I refer to what they're saying as opposition wahala, because they always talk about we have done this, we have done this. Now what is coming? Sino Hydro is going to just tell them that we are capable of doing better infrastructure.
At what cost? At what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost?
At a cost which is value for money. which protects the national purse, which is not going to get involved with...
Yes, do you know why we didn't vote? Let me tell you.
When you were talking, I was here.
Keep that.
I will give you all the time.
Keep that point. Please make your submission.
The reason why we
are honorable. My former boss at GBC, please relax.
Don't do that. So, they realize that if MPP, given what we have done, managing their mess, bringing some stability, hope,
that's strange. Nobody sees that.
No, don't say that.
I shouldn't say that. People want money in their pocket. You're saying nobody sees that. I'm speaking the language of the ordinary people.
I am telling you.
Yes, sir.
You will tell me that you are not seeing any money in your pocket. But I'm sure you have a family member who at least is enjoying free senior high school. If you have one, it's 2,000 Ghana cedis in your pocket. If you have two, it's about almost 4,000, 6,000 Ghana, depending on what.
You want me to answer you? You want me to answer you?
Hold on.
So if I have a family member, yes, I do.
Yes, and they probably enjoying this.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, exactly. So that is money in your pocket. You're not just because it's not.
No, I think national is there.
You don't think it's money. So what our friends in opposition are doing is that, given the fact that Impuntu is bringing so much.
But you know the PTA, they've made them pay 1,000 cedis each.
Roland, let me tell you this. Education matters.
But you're enjoying the thing free by your parents.
If you have to cough some money to support in some way, it's not a problem.
This is
come on. You could have been paying the whole thing. So it's not 419.
419 to the highest order.
My honorable is mentioning some numbers. What is he comparing with? If the opposition really wants to be responsible, come up with some numbers. These things you are quoting 24,000 for XYZ.
It should be.
We think it could be done for this.
What is it? You mean they should have done it?
And that is what we call for responsible opposition.
That's realistic quantity and pricing.
You don't walk away. What they are trying to do, their strategy, which we do know, is to try to say that MPP2 is corrupt. That's what they are trying to do. MPP2, they are liars. MPP2, that is tax that they have earned with evidence.
And you have superimposed yourself.
Loot and share. And you are not superimposed.
You have superimposed. Within 2 years, yours is gargantuan.
Please, don't say that.
Yours is unimaginable.
You can say it however you want it, but the good listeners, those who are listening, know. Roland, I'm not saying that we are out of all the problems. No way.
Can you wrap up?
The hole that our friends put us in, our friends in the NDC, is too huge that we are not complaining. We are continually resolving the issues, and we expect them to be responsible. In opposition,
I'm celebrating the Christmas with you. I love your submission.
They are uncomfortable.
This is the communication team. They are placing it on
the reason why yesterday we
have to end. We have to
this
end.
whole project. Roland, there is no value for money audit.
Go for it.
There is no value for money audit.
Agent.
Yes, the whole
let them go for
the
it.
China deal.
Yes, no money for. Look, this is the report.
Honorable,
this is a report that can
go for it.
Read value for money.
Go for it.
No,
read.
Crown agent, nothing.
Read.
Roland, were they at the committee meeting?
Were you at the finance?
Were they at the?
Did they come to us?
Of course.
I said. Did you read the report yesterday?
Oh, it's okay. Please, are you the one asking the questions? You are now MP. You are no more a journalist. But let me ask you. Who are the valuers? Who are the entities that are doing who did the value for money audit on this?
Roland.
Oh, don't mention my name. I'm asking you on the final. No, please. My good friend, Bradam, I'm asking you. You are on the finance committee. Are you on the finance committee?
I am on the finance committee. I am also. I'm even giving you more information so you can ask me
don't give me information. The information I want is straight question.
Sure.
Which entity? Who did the value for money audit on this?
But who normally do the? Hold on. Who normally do the value for money audit?
That's a rhetoric. You're answering. My question with a question.
There's a procurement.
That's a communication strategy. I say answer this simple.
There is a procurement process that goes. All these tenders will go through.
All right.
And at the point where value for money is required, it will be done.
Okay.
At the point.
Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Apart from that, we have friends in NDC on the committee. What did they say?
All right.
They have come to Parliament and they protested.
Please, I have only 5 minutes, but
let's go.
This morning, Kujo and I were going through the newspapers, and something was just breaking out. It looks like, for example, the president is one of my role models.
Sure.
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I love him that he never gave up and became president.
Sure.
And so he's my role model at any point in time.
Never gave up.
He commissioned Sunda Diaper Factory. And in our conversation, I just got to know apparently it's been around. And I remember I've seen them selling stuff on the road.
Okay.
But I've also noticed, for example, I saw Everpure. Everpure, pictures of Everpure, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, going around to commission. We have existing factories that are being co-opted onto one district, one factory. During the campaign, did you see the charts? Every district at Daklo, Bordied, all of them.
Even dog factory.
Will have things that they'll be doing. And the things that the factories in those communities will be dealing in as well. You saw the charts.
Sure.
Was it a pie chart?
I didn't see what you're talking about, but I get it. One district, one factory. Go ahead.
I'll show you.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Okay, so why is it that the president seems to be commissioning existing factories to be part of the one district, one factory? Please explain to me. Yes, sir.
You were trying to even tell my senior that the one district, one factory is not something that the government is basically going to sponsor wholly by itself. What the government has said is to create enabling environment so that private sector will partner with the government or will take advantage of the government opportunities that it provides. Are you telling me, Roland, if there's existing factory that needs help to be able to boost its capacity, the government should ignore and just go somewhere and reinvent the wheels, okay? Right? Roland, you have to pay attention. So I say that if there's an existing facility, factory, right? If there's an existing factory that has the capacity to double or triple its output, it cannot be go up into this one district, one factory. Yes, why not?
Is that what you said in 2018?
It's not just what you said. You also have to, as you keep going, if you need to make modification to... Roland.
You've been given a mandate.
Roland, no.
You campaign on a certain mandate. Why do you go, you change the thing rough?
No, we are not changing it rough.
Sunda is not a new factory.
Roland, you have to get it. If you have a factory and you're producing, maybe you employ about 10 people and you're doing it, and the government finds it in a district...
That's not new.
No. One district, one factory is not supposed to say that it is new. In Bantamar, there's a man that is doing, he produces dogs. It's a Nigerian man that produces dogs. We want him to write, we are going to try to help him to see if he can come up and make it a bigger factory.
Dogs.
Door.
Yeah.
Right? Big doors, right? So That company exists already, but the capacity at which the man is producing is too small.
That one is a stimulus package. It's not one.
But the question is, you can decide to call it however you want to call it. But if it's
you see shenanigans.
No, it's not shenanigans. The problem you are having is that we are delivering on our mandate.
Oh,
we are delivering on all the promises we told Ghanaians. And because of that,
this one another
is potentially going to keep you in opposition. This one another
told Ghanaians.
You are basically doing a lot of opposition wahala. Opposition wahala is a situation where you basically complain and cry because the majority or the government in power is performing. And that's what they're doing. So, well, there's nothing wrong in trying to help existing factories as part of this. There's nothing wrong. What is the issue?
Do you want me to read it?
If I can give you a capacity, if you're an existing company and I can increase your capacity to absorb more,
that's how we've tweaked.
Is
it tweaking or addition?
It's something we are doing. So I come across.
I'm saying that this new policy direction, is it a tweak to the original idea?
Don't forget, if you look at the budgets that have come since we've been in power, there's a situation where the government was going to help even existing companies to do well. What is wrong? I don't see anything wrong with it. So don't tell us that we are.
But we already had initiatives.
No, yes,
there was a Ghana Infrastructure Fund. There was many things that were available.
But Roland,
venture capital.
Roland, are we doing one district, one factory? Yes, we are. In the
existing factories.
Yeah, no. So listen, how many of them?
Okay, let me show you a post. A post on November 28th, 2016.
And this is what we are referring to.
But this one is official.
No.
Is it official?
I've seen this. But you call it.
Is it official? Let me. Perhaps maybe our. Oh, let's forget about the name and go up. One district, one factory.
Yes.
One district, one factory. This one nice. None of it is in fruition.
Well, let me.
No, you can't catch me. Why?
Say that. At least we know that.
Sanda was not part of this.
At least we know that.
Sanda. What did they do? Toilet rolls or diaper?
Roland, you're not getting
it. You didn't say diaper initiative under one district, one factory.
You are not getting it. If I go into a district, right, and I see a company that exists already with maybe has some difficulties, instead of going to reinvent the wheel, I wouldn't mind supporting the one that exists.
So all I need to do is set up my entity. When it's going down, I go and call government.
Not when it's going down.
Well, we already have existing funding opportunities for them, don't we?
When it is going down, it is you determine
that maybe
the one that exists already. If you find it feasible to do, why not? Okay. Even Commander Sugar Factory.
Look.
So why don't you go and help Commander Sugar Factory?
Listen, we are going to take measures to make sure that we fix it. We won't leave it like that. They intentionally did it for votes, but what happened? They couldn't finish it.
Please, I give you only 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Please, why will you give me 7 minutes and give me 2 minutes?
You know, I like him, and I don't like him more than me. I don't like him.
Thank you. I want to quote Roland.
The
2016 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akufo-Addo, as part of plans to industrialize and transform the Ghanaian economy, has indicated that his government plans to help establish a factory in each of the 2016 districts across the country if he wins the 2016 elections. Yes. Nana Akufo-Addo made this announcement while touring the Ejumako Enyane Siam, Infantsiman and Abura Asebu Kamankese constituencies in the central region on Saturday, June 18th, day 3 of his 5-day tour of the region. JoyNews.
But what is he doing?
The president
is delivering on his mandate.
This one is before the elections. Now, today, you are telling us that what we are doing is actually not one district, one
No, don't say that.
But stimulus package.
No.
That's what he's saying. He said we can prefer to call it stimulus package, but they are calling
I never said that. No.
Oh, that's what you just
said. I never said no.
Oh, so we play back.
The point I'm making to you is that if I go into a district, right, and I find a company that already exists.
And I told you that is stimulus package. Okay. That is not one district, one factory.
If I'm going to increase the capacity of the business to do, what is wrong with that? Which was being done
under President John Evans Atta Mills. He gave 10 million.
What is it that the NDC haven't done?
To companies like Tobinco,
Roland, what is it that our friends in NDC have done?
50 million.
He's always talking about our friends in NDC are always talking about efforts, but not results.
The poultry industry.
They said that those one they have results.
Yeah, they talk about efforts.
Do you know why
in the corporate world it doesn't fly?
Do you know why NS Chemist is the leading pharmaceutical company in West Africa now?
Oh, why not?
Do you know why?
Yes,
because there's a package. Yes, is the incentive.
So I will show the chart again.
To understand
no.
The chart. I love the chart. Let's show the chart one more time. I love the chart. Very colorful. So we'll show the chart. One district, one factory chart.
So don't worry about it. It's creating jobs and creating opportunities.
Very soon, multimedia will become one district.
So we're showing the chart one more time before we
multimedia will become one district, one factory.
Please.
You know what I want to?
When you have a performance,
I'm inviting another. My Chichinga factory in Zongo Lane need assistance.
Do you have some?
They should come here, Chichinga factory.
But you know, there's an initiative to improve Zongo, Wache and those things. All right.
One district, one factory. Zongo Lane, Chichinga factory.
It's okay. Let's end the conversation. This year, next year, I have to announce, as already reiterated by the finance minister, there's the initiative Rearing for Food and Jobs. You know about it.
Yes.
We're happy.
Well,
now, Nii Lantey Vanderpuye is a member of parliament for the Ododo constituency. He's been in the studio alongside Daniel Ochem Abuaje. He is a member of parliament for Bantama. Bantama is in the heart of the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi.
Yes.
The best fufu was located.
It's like
Ododo. All right. So we're taking a break. But I don't know whether your house was affected by the tremors. I'm told that you have to be careful. You are living in Japan.
I felt it.
You felt it?
Yeah.
Have you built the wrong place?
My wife ran into the living room.